All right, well, we're back here, one of my favorite signs. Starts two of my favorite trails, one more so than the other. But today we're gonna do Lone Wolf Trail. This is a physical trail. It's gonna take you through some mountain bike areas. It's gonna take you up this enormous hill straight off the bat. And it's gonna finish at about 1.75 miles. So it's a quick hitter, under 2 miles. But it's got some stuff to see, so let's head out. All right, Lone Wolf Trail at Castlewood, Missouri Park in Ballwin, Missouri. Lone Wolf, what it's famous for, the straight uphill to start. This is not a long stretch by any means. This is a quarter-mile stretch, but the grade is enormous. You'll have some breakwaters up here when you start getting halfway, but this one will test anybody. I've passed mountain bikers biking up this, and I give them mad kudos for attempting it. I've seen people run up it, not very quickly, but it's a large packed down gravel, but there is a lot of loose stuff. So you want to be careful, pay attention to your footing, and don't start out a hike with a fall. All right, well, the avid hiker is tired. We're heading up this first hill, and there's something about starting a hike on a huge hill that really will get your endorphins going and motivate you through the rest of the hike. And this one does it with an A+. So like any good trail, the Lone Wolf follows the equation of work, reward, work, reward. You pound out that huge hill, you get a view. You go up another hill, you get a view. And it never lets you down here. It always keeps you interested. And as you'll see, I'm gonna walk down this little embankment and just get you a little peek. We're up there. So as you're gonna see on this trail, we're up on this bluff and we're gonna hike along, have some wildlife, some nature, a view, some woods, a view, some more woods, some more views. And it's all about these bluffs. But the trail itself is just perfectly laid out in the sense that it's got some test to it. It's got some rocky hills, some gravel, padded down areas. But in every few feet, it's gonna reward you like this. And I mean, I'm just talking 10 feet off the trail. Boom. Instant panoramic views and then back on trail. So when you start hiking this trail, you're gonna understand why the park had these two trails share such a large portion of trail. Try to squeak as much as they can out of these views, which are, some of the best in Missouri and absolutely gorgeous to hike along. So being a quick hitter, you have a little more, I'd say, leeway as far as what you need to bring on this hike. Definitely could use some water after that first hill, but at 1.75 miles, there's a bathroom at the start and the finish, and it's going to be quick. So here's our first real turn on this hike. So you're going to see a sign that says no bicycles beyond this point. That continues the River Scene Trail. You're going to branch off here to the right, and let me show you. You're going to have the first emergency locator panel. See if you can see that, for Lone Wolf. So we head back into the woods, and you're going to see another piece of history why it's called Castlewood Park. So for those who don't know or haven't seen my other reviews of the trails in this park, Castlewood was a big place back in the 20s and 30s during Prohibition times. People from the city would take the train out, come stay at these lodges and these resorts out here on the river, play in the river during the days, and then go to the speakeasies that were out here spread around the hills at night. Once Prohibition ended, obviously the need for this kind of finished, and World War II took over. And so there wasn't as many people looking to party on the weekends. So of those lodges and those resorts, there's a few remnants left, mostly foundations. But if you see the way they lay, they kind of look like a castle. So up in the woods is your castle, Castlewood. Little history for you. All right, so now we've entered what I like to call this part of Lone Wolf, the mountain bike track. It's a nice, thin, windy trail through underneath the shady canopy, through the woods on this backside of this huge hill. And it's going to weave us all the way down to a nice spring-fed creek where we're going to finish up on a nice flat section. Keep your eyes open for mountain bikers. Majority of them come down this, and they're moving. A few try to make it up. But the problem with coming up is on the first hill I showed you, the Lone Wolf, you're only allowed to go up it on a bike. So if they come up this part, they have to go right back down. This Lone Wolf Trail is a great physical conditioning course. It's quick at a mile and a mile and a quarter, mile and 3/4, one of those two. But with the hills up and the hills down, constant work on your legs the first half, and then a nice cool down walk on the last third. This one is a nice, quick, get in here, hike for 40 minutes, get in your car, head home, and you've got an exercise for the day. With any of these quick hitters, 1.75 miles, I remember now. But look at these views. It sure beats the gym. And the fresh air and the sounds and the sights, it just can't be beat. All right, so we're on that backside of that hill, and as you can see, as you get lower, you start to catch views of that creek down there. Spring-fed, beautiful. I'm gonna traipse out on the gravel bar when we get down there and get you guys some close-up views of just why that creek is worth coming here alone by itself. So as you can see, as we get down towards the bottom here, it's starting to change up a little bit. Getting a little more ground cover, a little more green. We're gonna cut down here, cut through some brush, and make almost a full 180 and head back towards the parking lot. But we got some cool views on the way there. So we're not done yet. I was thinking this is one of the cool spots. You see they got a board here, pretty much constantly muddy here. We're gonna go through this little thicket of bushes, and when you come out on the other side, you're gonna make a right to continue on this trail. There used to be a sign right here across, but it got knocked down and it's somewhere in the weeds there. They just haven't replaced it yet. So we're gonna continue back towards the parking lot. And instead of riding with the river to our left, now we're gonna be riding with this beautiful spring-fed creek on our left. Let's go down here to where I can jump over there. All right, so we're down at the creek level now. As you can see, it splits around and branches around, and just a gorgeous spot. Kind of cuts through, and every time it rains real hard, this creek changes, which is the neat thing about it. So, if it's been a couple weeks since you've been here, or a couple months even, you're gonna come back and it's gonna be a totally different layout. Let's go a little farther and jump down there. So now we're down here on the gravel bed with the spring-fed creek. Call this the world's luckiest hill up here, because on one side it's got the Merrimack, and on this side it's got this just perfectly laid out, beautiful creek. This is a great little area to explore with the kids. Kind of breaks up the hike a little bit, even though we have all flat stuff left. After coming down that hill, it's a nice little reprieve for them. Let them throw some rocks and look for tadpoles, frogs, and so forth. Let's finish up. One little neat thing on this trail is these rock bluffs on this side. This is the shadowy side of the hill during the winter. So when you get some snow on the ground or melting, you come an early morning hike and you'll just have thousands of icicles hanging from those bluffs and those rocks, and really makes for a pretty scene. All right, what you need to know on this hike. What to expect. Some big climbs. Always going to be a couple muddy patches. Some great views. And a nice peaceful creek walk on the way back of the car to reward you. What to bring? As always, it's Missouri. Bug spray, water, and definitely bring a camera, as you can see those views up at the top of the hill. What not to miss? Don't miss this creek and a chance to jump out there, take off your shoes, put your feet in it, let the kids throw some rocks, play around a little bit in there, and just enjoy. It's 1.75 miles, quick hitter. Enjoy it, get out here. All right, so finishing up here, we're heading on this dirt path. Like I said, you're always gonna have some mud, some water down here, because we're right at creek level. with these thick brush to both sides of the trail. You want to keep your eyes open for some deer. They love to come down here and feed on this wet ground vegetation. And you'll definitely have one or two every so often pounce out from one side of the trail to the next, right in front of you, just to get your heart moving a little bit. So as we finish up this trail here, one of the cool things, and you'll have a trail every so often that does it, this is one of those trails where you're just walking along and all of a sudden, bam, you're out, you're done. It's like all of a sudden, you go from nature back to civilization. This is one of those hikes, so don't be surprised. But you'll hear the cars coming, and you'll know you're getting close. It also finishes at the swimming hole, which if you've watched my review for the Gropeter Trail here at Castlewood, and if you haven't, you should. But there's a swimming hole on the other side of the bridge. In the middle of summer, you can't beat it. Always full with kids. Just a nice, beautiful spot. And about 4 or 5 feet deep with cool spring water. So it's a must not miss. And all right, well, here we are at the finish. Got our bridge, got our street. In the trees there, if you go to the other side of that parking lot, that's the sign we started at. Usually I finish off at the sign, but I happen to be parked the other way today, so I'm going to finish it off here. Don't miss this trail. Don't miss this park. This one doesn't have the scenes of the river view, or at least all the scenes of the river view, but it does have the physical workout, and it's a quick hit. You can get in and out of this park in under an hour and have your fitness in for the day. So until next time, hike more. As always, you can see all of my hikes on the Avid Hiker Facebook page, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel for free and check out all of my reviews that I have for trails around town and getting out farther every day. Subscribe is no fee. You'll get an email each day. It'll tell you what trail I reviewed in the subject line, so you can click it if it's one you're interested, or not if you, but always watch them. You can click an ad too. Have a good day. Hike more.